Alright, this is a file uploaded system created with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Let me show you what it does. As I click on this browse button, you'll see a file explorer opens up. Now I'm going to upload a GIF. If I click on this open, you'll be able to see the file which you are uploaded. And this is the size, actual size that is getting uploaded. And this is the total size of this GIF, which is 2.3 MB. And this is the status. And if you wish to close the upload, if you wish to cancel the upload, you can just click on this close button and it will get cancelled. By the time it's uploading, let me just add one more file, which is this JPEG. If I click on open, you'll see the GIF name, it got uploaded. So now this file can be seen in this folder called uploads. This is the image that we have uploaded. Once the GIF gets completely uploaded, you can see the GIF over on this folder. Likewise, if you wish to drag and drop, you are able to do that. Now let me drag this PDF and drop it over here, and you see the PDF got uploaded. Let's visit that folder, and the PDF is there, the GIF is there, and the image that we have uploaded is there. Likewise, let me just drag all the files. In this case, I'm adding multiple files and dropping it over here. And now I wish to cancel the video. Click on this cancel, and you see it got cancelled. So now everything is getting uploaded one more time. So now we can see we are able to upload multiple files using button click, and we can drag and upload it as well. And this is the total number of files that we have uploaded, and we can see the status of the uploaded file, the progress. As you can see, the progress bar is getting changed each second as the file is getting uploaded into our server. Tutorial source code available on my YouTube channel. Alright, if you wish to learn more such tutorial, you have to get into my channel, and I have a collection of JavaScript playlist. So here, get into the playlist where you will find JavaScript related projects. So I have games in JavaScript, and let me search for JavaScript here. Over here you will find the vanilla JavaScript project tutorial. I have like 90 plus tutorials in a single playlist. If you are an intermediate level developer, you can directly jump to this video and start along. But if you are a very beginner, I would recommend you to start from episode 1. So you can see I have started from episode 1, and now I have reached till here 95. If you have no idea of what Java is, I would recommend you to start from episode number 1. So if you are okay with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and you don't need quite introduction of each function and each value or each variable, you can directly jump and start along with this current project which you have clicked on. Now for each videos I have left this code in the description. You just need to click it and start coding with me. So in case if you got stuck somewhere, you can just copy paste the code which I have linked in the description, so that you don't get stuck anywhere. So that's enough for the intro. Let's just get started with the project. First and foremost thing, make sure your XAMPP is on. Make sure you click on this start button, and you see there is stop over here. That ensures your XAMPP is running. And in the C drive, because you have to place your folder in the XAMPP, in the C drive you have XAMPP, then you will find htdocs. Then inside htdocs, this is the file which we are about to work. So let's just open Visual Studio Code, and now what we have to do is you have to open, I think there's a problem here. Now you have to click on file, and you have to open folder with this option, and locate the XAMPP folder, because we are going to save all our projects file in the XAMPP folder, which is in cdocs, XAMPP, htdocs, and this is it. Click on select folder. Now this will be loaded in the Visual Studio Code. Now to create the file, to create this project, we need 3 files: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's create that. Press Ctrl N and Ctrl S, and you can name it as index.html, and then Ctrl N, Ctrl S, style.css, and again script.js. So the extension is important. You can name file with anything. Now this is the HTML. Now we'll link our style sheet which we have created right now, which is style.css, and then we have script.js. Cool. Once it is done, you can see your file over here. I think it's properly copy the name of the folder. So you'll see your HTML. This is the HTML. If you change the title, you could see the effect. You could see the changes in the browser. Cool. Now what we need to create a container called file uploader, and we will have header and unordered list and footer. I am taking this class name as user friendly, so you don't have to worry about it. So in the header we would have 2 things, which is title and then completed. In the title you will say file upload, and in the completed 0 of 4 completed. And if you wish to change the font, usually we go with the font called Poppins. You can search for Google Poppins. You can use the CDN of Google Poppins in your style sheet or HTML, wherever it is convenient for you. Now as I scroll down, if you click on this get font, and you'll see get embed code and click on delete. So this is the place where you can have your HTML CDN. You can place it in the HTML also, but if you're facing in HTML, make sure to add your opening and close of style sheet. And then for all element, let's just make this margin and padding 0 and a box sizing border box. And then we can have for all element, we can have the font family as Poppins. By this you could see make sure it's saved. By this you could see the changes reflecting on the browser. You can see the font got changed. So these are Poppins font. Cool. And in the footer we can have container first, and inside container we will have two things. The first one is upload area. Drag your file here is the next content, and after that you will need a button, anchor tag, upload, just upload, and you should see the changes. Now in the list item it's going to have a lot of HTML, but I'll just make the classes as user friendly, so you don't have to worry about it. And you will have two major div, which is file name, usually your JPEG, G for PNG, and then we have file content container, and inside that we'll have file content, and then we'll have file info. Overall we could say it as file details, and then we will have file info and file name.jpg, and in the file info we will have some details, which is 15 MB or something. It's not going to be that big. And then we will have divider. It's better that we give classes over here. Here it's going to be size, and then let this be a divider. And then we have a status. It's either uploading, cancelled, completed. Or let's just make this uploading. We would need some font. We would need some icons. So I'm going to Font Awesome, and W3 School. With the help of W3 School, we can get the CDN. Let me just copy the CDN and paste it just above our custom CSS, because we don't want our CSS to be overridden by Font Awesome. And make sure it's 4.7, and over here just before the file content we will have close button, so we can position absolute them just as for close, and this seems right. Just copy this and paste it. Now if your CDN is working and your internet is working, you should see the icon over here which is close. Yes, that works. And this is for the first line, which is file content, and just before your container we will have progress bar, and then we will have progress. This is how it looks like without HTML, so without CSS. And in place of anchor tag we will have span. You should see format document somewhere, and there you go. Now let me just create a CSS hierarchy so you don't get confused. So what do I mean by that? So this is the main container, and inside that we have header, and inside header we have title, and inside title we don't have nothing, but inside header we have completed. So this one is done. So this is the CSS hierarchy. So I'll pause this and create it so we don't get confused. Now let's work on CSS. So before that, let's just give body a background color of red, and whatever is in the body I want to fit the center. So in this case it's the file uploader section. Display flex, align item center, justify content center. So this will vertically align center, this will horizontally align center. It will work only when you give a width to it. Width of 100% of viewport, height of 100% of viewport height. WH is viewport height, VW is viewport width. Make sure it's linked properly. Just Ctrl U and constyle.css, and it's there, but the style is not getting applied. And yes, I had to hard refresh it. So let's just change this color to something more pleasant. Anyway, it's going to be a background color. And let's get the container. Now we can give background color, or let's just give width to it first of 500 pixel, and background color as white. And let's just add padding. Before giving padding, let's just give padding to the header, which is 20 pixel on all sides, and display flex, and justify content space between, so we want space between. Now for the title, let's just give font size of 1.2 rem and font weight of, let's say, 700 weight, and for the completer, let's just make this font size of 1 rem and the font weight of 500 or 400. Cool. Now the same way for the unordered list, let's just remove the dot, so list style none, and padding, it's better to give padding of 20 pixel, and let's just do display flex. So this display flex, it's better to give display flex over here. There seems to be an issue over here. Where is file name? List item, file name, then we have file container. Let's just give display flex here. And now if you see this as display flex, we can give width of 100%. And now you'll see this as file name. We have given display flex, let's just give width of 100%. It's actually working. You have to give width to it. Width of, let's say, 500 pixel. And now you'll see the list item, file name, these two are listed properly. Let's just give file name. Inside file name, let's just have, or just give file name as background red, not red, but this one, the background color which we have given to the body, and border radius of 15 pixel. So I think there are two class names with file name main, and height, let's say 100 pixel, or it's too big, and the font weight at 700, color as white. Now this would work only when we give width and height to it, so I have given width as 50 pixel, height and width are same, and just copy these and give it to the main. Now since we have given display flex to the li, we can give gap of 15 pixels, so we get some gap between the name and the file content container. Now we somehow need to give this to take the whole place, but it's not taking up. Let's just fix that. Now I have given width 100% to the container, width 100%, and now if I hover it, you will see all of them takes the container takes the width of 100%, and inside file content we have details and close. So let's get into the file content and let's give display flex. So this cross comes right after the name, that works, and we can give justify content space between, so that we get proper good space between the cross button and the status. And then for the name, let's just design it such a way like we get font size of 1 rem, font weight of 500. So this is for the name, and for the info, let's just design it a little down. So let's just make this 0.8 and 400. Let's just see 500 for the, this is for the info. And if I hover it, I want this to change the color. So when I hover on close, I want the color to change to red, and let the cursor be pointer. Cool. I have just changed the name so that it appears a little big. So in the file info, we can give display flex and gap like 15 pixel. So this is file info. So here, let's just keep it as a 1 rem, and we can make the opacity of 0.5. And I've changed this. Let's just add some margin top to the file info, I guess. Margin top of 10 pixel. If you want, you can make this even closer. So this is for the file info. Cool. You can change the color of the uploading to something like the background color. For the status, so let's design the progress bar. Close, we have progress bar over here. So we can give a height of 3 pixel, background of black, margin top of 5 pixel, and you can play with the opacity of the color. Of course, you can give padding 5 pixel, 0. And let me just copy this and give it to progress bar. And inside the progress bar, we have progress div, where we can give background red and a width of 50% and height of, let it take it from the parent, so inherit. So instead of red, we can give the same color. Instead of 50, we can give it in a percentage wise. Just copy this and give it to the progress. Make sure to give the height same to the both parent and here in this case the parent is progress bar and the child is progress, same. And now we can change the header color, little contrast, to get some contrast. So this looks okay. So this is for the header. Background redder, and we can give text transform uppercase for all. And in the header you can say 0 of 4 files, or let's just say 1 of 4 files uploaded. And we can give border radius to the main div, border radius of 5 pixel. So you can see it's getting changed, and let's just give overflow hidden, so we get to see the changes on the top as well. And box shadow 1 pixel left and right, 1 pixel top and bottom, 10 pixel blur, and the color black. And let's just reduce the opacity. And the x-axis, y-axis, and this is spread. Opacity, not exactly. Cool. Now let's just stage this 5 times, which is the list item. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we see the content is getting overflowed. So here, get into the UL, where you will find the unordered list. We can give max height, or just say height of 400 pixel, and overflow y-axis off. So now you see, instead of 5 you can manage it to 300 as well. I think it's better to have padding, and we don't need overflow. Let's just make this overflow hidden. And scroll bar width, let's just make this thin. And so here we have scroll bar color. Let's just do this as it is, like the background color. Fine, that doesn't seem to work. Alright, let's try to add some space on the right side. $450. This seems fine. And now you see overflow. Now what we can do is, let's just work on the drag your file section. Over here, this is the upload area. Get the content. So we have footer, container. So inside footer we have container. For the footer we can have margin, top, bottom, top 10 pixel, left and right 20 pixel, and bottom 20 pixel. Cool. Now for the container we can have border 1 pixel solid black. Instead of solid we can make this dashed. and of course we can reduce the opacity of the black, and let this have a min height of 400 pixel, or let's just 100 pixel, and whatever is there inside, display flex, align item center, justify content center. And since this is a span, or this we need to give manually, so we can, let's just try adding cap of 15 pixel. Yep, that works. 5, cool. And of course we need to change the, I don't think it's button, I have given the class button, cool. And we can give color of red, not exactly red but the background color, and cursor, pointer, and text transform, text decoration, underline. We are mimicking the anchor tag. I'm just making small changes so the UI looks a little professional. Changing the padding of the item. This seems to have so much width, sorry, the padding, top and bottom, left and right, top and bottom 10 pixel, for a header, cool. Now it's time to jump into the JavaScript. Now when I click on the browser button, what should happen is a file explorer should open up. So what we will do is, let's just add, just before the footer, input type file, and this should accept multiple. So now if you click on it, you'll see the file explorer opens up. So in the desktop I have added some GIF, PNG and JPEG, and by default it should be hidden. So now if I refresh, it won't show up. So now with the help of JavaScript, when I click on this browser, this should activate the click on the input file type. Let's just do that. So now we need to get these, let's just give class input file. We are going to use this in JavaScript, document.query selector, input file, and the browse button over here, button, inside button we have browse. Inside the class button we have a span tag. So when I click on add event listener, this will add an event to this element. So the event that we need to add is click, and once it is clicked, what should happen? Once it's clicked, it should activate the input file dot click. So let's just see, I click on the browse, the file explorer should open up. I'm clicking on this. By the time, let's just open the console. If you see any error, that would be thrown in the console. Yep, we are able to get add event listener, add listener click. I'll just see console.log clicked. I know this is spelling mistake. If I click on the browse, you should see before that here you can give user select none. So you won't be able to select this once you add user select none. Let's just add the style. It says it could not find the class, which is this one. It's a class actually. Now it should open, and yeah, that works. And now when I select any image, I want this description, I want the details of the image. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll add an event on the file input. Let me just copy this. So on the file input, we need to look for change event. So if there is any change, then I want the change to be displayed. Console.log e.target.files. Let's see the console. If I select any files, it should have the details of it. So you can see the image, the size, the type of the file. Let me select two files. So you'll see length is 2. So in that case, we will have an array 0 and 1. 1 is for the GIF and the 2 is for the second is for the JPEG. So it's better to have these function with the name handle file uploaded. Cool. Now let's just hide this for now. I hope I have made this clear. Now let's work on the drag function. So what is the default behavior when I try to drag something? So let's just see. So if I drag this image over here, you'll see the default behavior is the image shows up. So what we need to do is, so this is the image upload area. We have to do this in JavaScript. So in the upload area, we have to add an event listener in the upload area. Where there is something drag over, just console.log saying dragged over, and when I leave something, when I drag leave, drag left. So let's just see the console. When I try to, let me make this smaller so that we could see the console. You can choose anything. Drag over, you can see drag over, drag left, drag over, drag left, drag over, drag left. So when I drag over, I want this to have class list.add called active, and when I drag leave, I want to remove that active class. So let me just get that upload area, copy this. Here we need to make two things. Once it is with class active, we need to make the background color, we need to change the background color, and of course the color of the text. Let's just see. If I try to drag over something, hard refresh, we should find a class active that is added. Yeah, I can see it's getting added. You can see there's a class called active, but I don't see the background color appearing to it. What if I make this important? Okay, that is happening to the text. So instead of upload area, we can make this container which is inside footer. So this is going to be the upload area. The class, the style should be there for the container. Let's just try again. If I drag something, yeah, you can see the color getting changed. And along with the color change, what I need is I want to change the text also. So get this upload area, which is actually container, query selector, and inside query selector we can have the text is actually this inside here. Inside query selector dot inner text equal to a release. And once we leave, I want the text get back to the drag your files here. If you think the color is too much, you can just make this little whitish, or you can say tint. So you can see the text changes to release here. Cool. And I forgot to do one thing. What we need to do is we need to prevent the default behavior. e.prevent default. So this will prevent the default behavior. Here in this case, if I try to drop the image, what will happen? If I try to drop the image, it will be delayed into the new file. So we want to prevent that. And we are going to add one more, which is drop. When I drop, what should happen? So now let's work on, when I click on the button, you should see the images, so description of the image. So when I drop it, at the same time you need to see for that also you should see the details. So in that case, so when I drop, I get the information of the file using this e. So with e.dataTransfer.files. With e.dataTransfer.files we can get the file that has been dropped. So we need to pass this to this function. So let's just pass this, and here we will be receiving the file as a parameter, and let's just display the file as of now. So at the same time we have activated it when I click on the button. So when I click on the button, I want to pass e.target.files. So let's just see, on button click e is not defined. On line number 10 it says e is not defined. So in that case what we can do is we can create an arrow function and pass it over here, and yes, that's gone. Now let's try to click and open. Yes, we are able to see. Now let's try to drag and open, or let's just drag an image for now. Drop. So let's just remove the comment with the console that we have added. On drop, you should see the file info. Let's just try it. And once I drop, I want it to get back to the previous state, which is remove and give the default name. Cool. Now we are able to click and upload. Also we can drag and upload. So you can see. Let's just try adding multiple files. So you can see the length is 2. So you can able to see 2 files. Cool. Now what we do is we are going to we'll be getting multiple files of us, and we'll be using this thread operator to access the file as an array. So now if the length of the file is 0, then return from this function, else get the file and use the foreach, and in the foreach you'll be having file and index, and we'll be creating a function that will create the HTML. We will dynamically display the list items, this list items. So for that we'll be creating a function, create list item HTML, and here we'll be passing the same that we have received with the foreach. Now just to show in the HTML, we'll create, and of course we'll be getting these two variables. Now this is an object. So from this object, let me just drag and show you. So file is an object. So in the file, we need to get the 2 values. The first one is name and size. So this is called destructuring assignment. From the object we can get the name and size. So you'll see the name is there, the size is there. And to get the extension, we need to call the name and split on dot. So you can see anyway in the name after dot, and use the pop and get the extension. So once you use pop, so whatever is there at the end, that we'll get it. So this is a string. We are converting into we are splitting the string into two sections. So how? Get the dot and split it. This is the first one and this is the second one. So with the pop you can get the access to the last one. So that's what we are getting. And let's just try to console log. We will have name, we will have size, and we will have extension. So let's just see. Click on it, and extension is not defined. Let's try again. Again, extend. I think it's a spelling mistake here. So we have what? We have name, we have size, we have extension. Let's try this PDF. Name of the PDF, size of the PDF, and the extension of the PDF. Cool. Now since we are able to fetch the information of the file, let's just display these files over here. So here in this case, what we will do is, in the HTML, let's return a chunk of HTML. So over here, what we will do is just copy all the HTML list item and paste it over here. Now let's just fill the information that we have. We have extension. So this is backtick, not a single quote. Notice that dollar. So this is HTML literal. If we want to pass the JavaScript variable inside HTML, this is how we will do it. And as again I'm mentioning, this is backtick. So this is the name, and here we will add the size. Actually this is the total size. And since it's returning this, since this function is returning, we want to access this returned list item HTML. And what we would do, since we are the for each, we need to get the list unordered list. So here this is the place where we will be filling dynamic HTML, and we would be getting this with the JavaScript. Since we have only one URL, I'm directly accessing it just to save our time. And I'm going to use adjacent instead of insert adjacent HTML instead of inner HTML. Why? It is because with inner HTML we won't be able to manipulate the place where we want to fix it. Now since we are using insert adjacent HTML, we can specify that whatever we add, it should be at the top. So now whatever images we add, it would be at the top. That's the reason why I have added insert adjacent HTML. Now let's try to upload. So instead of height, it should be min height. I think it's max height. I'm sorry for that, I got a little confused. Let's try to upload. a file, and you can see this is the name of the file, and let's try to upload one more. Cool. I hope we are able to fetch information and display it on the HTML. So this is JPEG, this is GIF, and this is PDF. Cool. Now what I would do is I'll just truncate this so that we won't get that information into the new line. Cool. Of course, let's try to drag and drop it. That too works. One more small changes. Whenever I try to upload, I want this to be text transform uppercase. Let's just do that. Text transform uppercase. Just copy this code, and we want this to be uppercase. What we will do is now we need to use PHP. So here in this case, we want to show the progress bar so that functionality can only be achieved with a server-side coding. Here in this case, we'll be using PHP for that. Now, create a function and pass the file index that we have received with the help of foreach. Now, just above here, we'll have access to two things: file and index. Now we'll create an PHP file and we'll name it as api.php. Cool. Now here we'll be creating our XML request. XML request is nothing but Ajax. With the help of JavaScript, we'll be sending the file to the PHP with the help of XMLHttpRequest. Now what we'll do is, here we need to create a folder called uploads, where we will push all our uploaded files. So in the PHP, this is upload files that you have specified. We are just pushing our files. This is the file that we receive into the folder. You can see this is the folder name uploads with the time. So the time will specify in a folder you may upload a file twice. So avoid naming convention, naming confliction. What we do is we attach the same file with the timestamp. So with the help of time, it would be a unique file. Even though two files are same, you are uploading the same file twice, and with the help of timestamp, it is now two files. That's it. With the PHP, you don't have to do much in PHP. So just to give you an example, we are opening the object. It is the Ajax, and we are sending the form data to the Ajax. So the form data will contain our file information. So this file can be accessed with the file over here, and the method is post. This is the file name, and we are sending the form data to the api.php. Now let's work on the progress bar. So over here, let's just create an event. So this, once there's an upload, there's an event called progress. So let's just display it on the console. So if I try to upload, you will see the folder that get filled with the data that we upload here. So let me just quickly get into XAMPP htdocs uploads folder. So it's blank now. So let me try to add a file. So you'll see the upload folder is now with the file that we have added. You can see this is the timestamp. So this is the actual file name. Just above, you'll see the timestamp. Then so now you are able to upload the same file twice with different file name. It will take some time. Cool, we got it. I can see it with a different file name. The same file with different file name. That avoids naming confliction. Now, since you can see, to slow down the internet, what we can do is get in the network and throttle into fast 3G, and in the console you'll see the progress. As we upload, you'll see the progress loaded, the total is this one actually, the 6667, and these are the loaded. So now we need to get the percentage from it. Now to calculate this, we need a unique identifier in the foreach. So in the foreach, let's create a unique identifier with the date along with the index that we are passing. And now we can use this unique identifier in the HTML and in the uploading document, uploading file. Over here we have used one more. Now with this identifier, we can give class name item hyphen the unique identifier. Now let's just see whether it works or not. So as we upload, the appended HTML list item should have a unique ID. Let's just create two, and the list item you can see the time along with the ID. So these are unique. The reason for giving unique ID is we can access the progress bar individually. So how we are going to do that? So here we have a unique ID. So document.selector, we can pass item hyphen the unique identifier, and now this is the list item tag, and now we can, with the help of list item tag, we have access to this list item. So inside the list item we have a progress bar, so which is this one. So we can access the progress bar. So now we have access to list item and list tag and a progress bar, which is dot. Now we will get the progress bar. So here we are getting the progress with the loaded and the total, which I have shown you. This is the total number and this is the loaded every second to complete this total. Now here we have progress. So you can see inside progress bar you have progress. So that's the width that we have to give. Style dot width equal to the progress then percentage. Now if I show you by, if it is 50, if it is 80, you can see. If it is 10, it's 0 right now. If I make this 10, I can see it's 10. If I make this 50, it's 50. If I make this 90, it's 90. So that's the code that will be updated. It's a variable, you can directly write this as well. Now if everything goes well, our progress bar should update by itself. So you can see it's getting updated, and this is also getting updated. Cool. Yep, it's getting time because we have made this slow. Now what we need to do is, once this is complete, we need to change this text and we need to remove the button. So in that case, we need to return the XMLHttpRequest and we need to access it, and we need to add a listener. Once it is complete, then we need to hide the cancel button and change the text from uploading to complete. Since this is Ajax, we know if the status is 200, that means it's completed properly. Now we are adding a event listener called ready state change. So with the help of state change, we identify that the XML request is passed or failed. So if it succeeds, so it is done, or if the status code is 200, that means it has succeeded. Now to make the change, what we need is, we need the current HTML. So here current HTML equal to document.querySelector. So we have a unique identifier which is item hyphen. Now if this is the current item, so what is the thing that we need to change? So we need to change, if it is successful, then change the status. So get the current HTML dot query selector, get the status dot inner text equal to completed. Let's try. So error somewhere, cannot set property of null inner text. I think it's not able to find the item. So let's just first display console.log. We are able to fetch properly the item ID or not. That's the reason I'm going to check right now. Item in the element. Yep, we're able to fetch it. But inside, where is the status? Oh, actually inside status we need to have dot. That's the reason it could not find the status. Completed. Yep, if it is completed, we can change the color something like green. Instead of inner HTML inner text, we can have inner HTML or span with text completed and style color green. Yep, we see it's completed and the color is green. Let's just make this little darkish. Cool. We can do one more thing. In our HTML, which is completed, and style dot color, we can give this color in this way too. Let's see. I think it's going to take some time. Yep, completed works. And for this, which is close, inside unique identifier, I can directly access this, close, and remove it. Let's try. Once it's uploaded, you see the close button is gone. And over here it's 4 MB. Let's change that. This is the progress here. This is the list item. Inside list item we have size, so we can modify class here. List item size, get the size, and dot inner text equal to backtick, and over here this is how we have written it, which is the loaded and the total. Let's see. Actually, since we have written it in the backtick, we can use template literal. Cool. Now we need to, when I click on the cancel button, the process should get stopped. So in that case, we need to add an event listener. So get the close button. Now we can add an event listener. Dot add event listener, which is click. Now to cancel, what we need to do is get the XMLHttpRequest, then use abort function. So once abort function is used, now we need to change the text to cancel, and let's change the color from green to red. Cool. Let's see. Let me try uploading. If I click on cancel, you'll see it says cancelled. And let's make this upload. Yep, that works. And in the request, XML request, if there is any error occurred, then we are displaying it an error message. Now what I did is, I have checked if this is MB, then MB code will be executed. If it is KB, then KB code would be executed. You save this into a formatted size, and this formatted size will be displayed over here as of now. So there is an error, I'll fix it right now. So now if you see, this is displayed as KB, this is working fine. Now in the progress section, I have to convert this e.loaded into KB or MB. Let me just run this and show you. The total is looking great, the total is looking right, but there seems to be an error again. e.loaded, and just to access this, I have added a span over here, and this span I'm accessing it in the progress event which we have created, and this will be displayed KB. So you can see this is working fine, but we need to work on this. So I have used the ChatGPT, and e.loaded is stored into a variable, and we are checking if this is KB, then display the data in KB. If this is MB, then display the data in MB. And as I said, load this into the span which we have created over here. So now if I see, if I upload this, first of all it's showing in KB, so once it reaches, it get converted to MB. Now we need to work on toFixed. So I can see it's working. So I think if we divide this again with 1024, then the data will be accurate. Yep, that works. Now let's work on this. So for that, we need to create two variables: total files, completed files, and let's get access to the section called completed. Now the total files will be equal to the for each the spread operator that we have used, total files plus equal to this files dot length, and the completed files will be, we need to check on the XML request XHR. This is the and the success function, we need to find the success function of Ajax, and if it is success then it means it is completed. And on each success we want to display the data here. So this is completed dot inner text equal to, remove this, this is total files, this is completed files, and just after each upload we want to display that result. Let's try to upload 2 files simultaneously. One is completed and 2 is about to complete. By the time let me upload a PDF too. Total 3. Cool, everything works fine. So finally I have to make some changes over here. So once I click on this once I click on any close button, the first one gets displayed, the first one gets hidden. So what do I mean by that? So if I upload files, as I click on cancel on any of the close button, the first one gets disappear and this case shows as cancelled. So to specifically target, I have used the query selector with the unique identifier, and that works for me. Cool, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for listening.